Hello, welcome to this video explaining the Anarchist build. The best class mod to use with this build is the legendary Anarchist class mod. This will increase your gun damage but reduce your accuracy straight off the bat, and it gives you 4 skills that are really vital to making this build work, and one that's kind of useful, but you could probably do without as well. With this, I'm also using a high capacity shield. I have thought that maybe a blockade or antagonist might be better. The antagonist has pretty good capacity on it. Both of those shields have damage reduction attached, might make the shield last longer. But at the moment, just having high capacity on the shield is working. I'm also using a relic that will increase that capacity further and provide some shock resistance. I wasn't too worried about the other resistances provided, but shock resistance is going to be critical because we're using shields and only shields to stay alive. Outside of this, you'll want a couple of short range weapons. There's no point going for anything that has accuracy because you're going to have none by the time you have full anarchy. So you're going to have to get in close in order to hit anything. So short range weapons are the way to go. Something that slaps hard. With your grenade, I've got magic missiles equipped, but this isn't the best option. You're better off going for an implosion grenade that can group enemies so you can hit multiple enemies at the same time with your low accuracy, or pull them closer to you if they're further away, but then you'd have to watch out for the explosion on that implosion grenade. So with the class mod, with the shield, the relic as well, these things complement Myelin. This shield increases your shield capacity and gives you some shock resistance, and it's been doubled by the class mod. So this is how we get some really large shield capacity. We've got some good shock resistance on top of that. That'll keep us alive. Now it is an Anarchy build, which means we're going into the ordered chaos skill tree, putting a point in Anarchy, 4 points into smaller, lighter, faster, so we can get down to the next tier of the skill tree. Smaller, lighter, faster, the main thing that's going to do is increase our reload speed. We're not so worried about the reduction to magazine size. That just means you're going to be reloading more often, and every reload you do will give you a stack of Anarchy. With Anarchy, every stack you have increases your gun damage by 1.75%, but reduces your accuracy by the same amount. 1 point in Anarchy will give you a maximum of 150 stacks, but an additional 5 points in pre-shrunk Cyberpunk will increase that maximum up to 400. At 400 Anarchy stacks, you will be receiving a bonus 700% gun damage, but only if you can hit an enemy directly. But it also means you're going to have negative 700% accuracy. This is where a skill called Close Enough becomes important, because that gives your missed shots a chance to ricochet towards enemies and deal half that damage. But it's only half your bullets that will ricochet, and they're only going to deal half damage. So that skill combined with Anarchy will give you, what are we saying? Half of 700 is 350. That's going to give you 175% gun damage boost if you're only ricocheting bullets towards enemies. This isn't how I'm going to play this build though. I'm going to boost our shields further with fancy mathematics so they recharge sooner and recharge faster, and then we're going to get to unstoppable force. This will increase our movement speed after we get a kill, regenerate some of our shields, but this will allow us to get into that close range where we can hit enemies directly and still reap that 700% gun damage. Now we can only deal that damage though if we can get to maximum stacks, so there's some skills here that will help us do that. One is Typecast Iconoclast, which means every time we achieve or gain an Anarchy stack, gain's a better word, every time we gain an Anarchy stack there is a chance we will gain an additional Anarchy stack. And because the class mod's doubling this benefit, there's a 60% chance this should activate more often than not, so you will rack up that Anarchy much quicker with this skill. Another skill that you can use, and I've always ummed and ahed about whether it's worth it, is Rational Anarchist. Means that when you accrue your first Anarchy stack, instead of accruing 1, you'll accrue 25. But if Typecast Iconoclast activates, you'll end up with 26. The reason why this is worth it is because it'll probably save you about a minute of trying to get up to 25 stacks on your own in a high density environment where, say, there's lots of enemies to actually kill to get that 25 stacks. But it also increases your gun damage by just shy of 44% straight off the bat. So with this and my class mod, I pretty much straight away get plus 100% gun damage to actually climb higher with additional anarchy. So it's worth it just to give you a jump start, but it's a short-lived skill. So if you want to get to 25 on your own, you could probably go without the skill. Another skill here that you could probably go without is the ninth degree. So this gives every fifth bullet that hits an enemy will ricochet towards another enemy. Now, a couple of things to be mindful of. For starters, the bullets need to hit an enemy, and you need to have 5 of them hit an enemy before one of them ricochets, with maximum points in this skill. And when they ricochet, they're not guaranteed to hit anything anyway. So you could probably go without the skill, and you probably won't notice too much loss in your power. But given that your accuracy is going to be pretty crap, and given that I'm, the build's about movement speed and getting in close, so you're more likely to land hits, you should have a fair few bullets actually ricocheting with this skill. Because the idea of getting in close means more bullets are actually hitting than not. So this skill should be triggering more often. Digistruct claws, this one's actually really important for staying alive. Forget about the melee damage, it's not really going to deal enough melee damage for it to be worth a damaging skill. The main thing we're looking at here is that it restores your health. Now when you use a melee attack with Digistruct claws or with claws unlocked, you will swipe twice. So you'll go shing, shing. Each one of those will heal you, and that will put you above 50% health. By staying above 50% health, it means that when you take health damage from a massive blow, you'll be given a grace period where it'll deny death. So if you are in low health, you'll go straight into fight for your life. But if you can keep your health above 50% and you take a massive blow, it'll leave you on this like next to nothing amount of hit points. So the next shot you take or next blow you take will put you into fight for your life. But you'll have a chance to recover. And with fancy mathematics, a bit of cover, a quick kill, you'll stay alive. So with claws, it's just about keeping your health topped up. Now another skill here is Strength of 5 Gorillas. This is doubled by your class mod. So it's giving Deathtrap an additional 30% melee damage with 10 points in this skill, which sort of makes sense to then partner, actually invest further into Deathtrap to make this little benefit useful. You could go down the Cataclysm sort of side of things, so Little Big Trouble. Catalyst class mod uses this stuff. But the idea is that you should be hitting hard enough that you won't need to burn things to death anyway. So you're not going to get a lot of benefit going down Little Big Trouble anyway. So we're going to invest the rest of our points into Best Friends Forever, focusing on Deathtrap. So we've maxed out Potent as a pony, giving some more health. Gives you some more health, but we're not worried about that. Some damage reduction and some melee damage from Made of Sterner Stuff. 20% cooler, so you can pull him out more often and he can keep you alive because he can be a bit of a bullet sponge. And sharing is caring, so you can get a copy of your shield. Upshot Robot will keep him hanging around until he gets blown up, and will increase his melee damage by 4% for every kill you and Deathtrap get as a team. And Buck Up will give him the ability to restore your shields to keep you alive as well. So he restores 100% of your shields. So the higher your capacity, the more benefit you're getting out of the skill. Now with your high shields, the other thing that keeps you alive that we haven't mentioned yet is blood-soaked shields. When you kill an enemy, this will instantly restore 80% of your shields, but you will lose 4% of your current health. We don't want 5 points in this skill because you've got 10 points in Unstoppable Force, which is regenerating 8% of your max shields a second. So between Blood-Soaked Shields and Unstoppable Force, you're going to basically get 88% of your shields straight away, with the rest of those shields to come over the next 8 seconds. So you'll have a little bit of an overcharge, I guess, from those 2 skills. So there's no point putting 5 points in this because Unstoppable Force will make up the rest. This simply means that as long as your shield capacity is high enough, you can charge one enemy after the next, after the next, after the next. And as long as you keep scoring kills, your shields will keep replenishing to allow you to continue your rampage. That's about all I can tell you for this this build. If you want to check out the gameplay trailer, you'll be able to see it in action. I will repeat some of these tips, and if you want additional tips, there's some written in the guide as well, so check that out. Good luck.